Okie dokie, hello. We are on to rearranging formulae number 2, and we are going to today look at how you rearrange formulae where the subject, the thing you are trying to make the subject of the formula, appears more than once. Okay, we're going to do a couple of examples and we'll see how we get on. Now, this is likely to appear when you get to GCSE, but it's a really good thing to be practicing now. Some of this is up to grade 7, okay, so we need to be able to look at it, and we need to, but only when you are confident with the stuff that we have just talked about, okay. Right, so let's have example 1. We are going to make x the subject of ax equals c plus bx. Okay, now you can have this with numbers. I'm just doing it with letters so that you can see. Now, you need to be very careful here because it is different to last time because we've got an x here and we've got an x here. All right, now your instinct possibly is to divide by a maybe so that we get x on its own here, but then we have not made x the subject of the formula because we have still got an x on the right hand side and we want to have both of our x's together to make x the subject of the formula. So you need to get all your x's on the one side of the equals and then anything else on the other side of the equals. So we want any term, any part of this formula that has an x in to be on one side of the equals and anything without an x to be on the other side. So the easiest way to do that is to get this x onto the other side. At the moment it's being added, so to take it onto the other side, to get rid of it, we can take away bx, because if I do bx, take away bx, I'm left with nothing over here, but here I've got to do ax, take away bx. I'm left with c. Okay, so that is your first step to get it so that anything with an x is on one side, anything without an x is on the other side. Okay, we are trying to tidy this up. Now, we cannot combine ax minus bx because we don't know what a and b are. But we can do a very special thing at this point. So when you've got x's or whatever you're trying to make the subject of the formula, whenever you have them on the same side, this trick should always work. If you cannot simplify that any further, which we can't. If you take a factor out, if you factorize this into a single bracket, it will work. So we're going to factorize this into a single bracket. Okay, so what is common to ax and bx is x, open the bracket. What do I have to times x by to get ax is a. What do I have to times x by to get bx is b. Okay, now x is very clearly being timesed by a minus b. So to get x on its own, I divide by a minus b. Okay, so I get x equals c divided by a minus b. Is x the subject of the formula? Yes, it is. Okay, now let's just look at one that is likely to come up in your GCSE, and it keeps sort of coming up at the moment, although it's a little while for you guys. Here we go, example 2. Should we do a different letter this time, just to spice things up a little? We are going to make m the subject of the formula. Okay. So, here we go. Let's have y equals m plus a over m minus 3. Okay. Now, our first step is to get all of our m's on one side and anything without an m on the other. Now, that is easy enough if we hadn't have this divide sign. Now, this divide thing makes it a bit more complicated. So let's get rid of the divide first, because then it won't make it so complicated. So how do I get rid of this divide by m minus 3? I multiply by m minus 3. If I do that to that side, that gets rid of it here. And if I do it to this side, I've got to times y by m minus 3. So I've got y lots of m minus 3. On this side, I'm left with m plus a. I've got a bracket here, natural to expand it, so you get ym or my minus 3y equals m plus a. Now we're back to the same sort of stage as we were that we started at up here. Okay, so we're trying to get anything with an m on one side of the equals. So let's take all our m's to the left. How do I get this m on the left? I take it away. So I've got ym, take away 3y, take away m equals a. Then I want anything without an m to be on the other side of the equals. So this is without an m. He needs to be on the other side of the equals. How do I get him to be on the other side of the equals? I add 3y. I'm going to add 3y to both sides because he is being taken away. Minus 3y, the opposite of minusing 3y is to add 3y. So we get ym minus m equals a plus 3y. Now you can obviously write that as 3y plus a because it means the same thing. Okay, now we're back to the similar stage that we were in up here. So then we get to this point and we do our very special thing of factorizing. So when we factorize this, we are going to take a factor of m out the bracket. So I've got m brackets. What do I have to times m by to get y? M is y. What do I have to times m by to get minus m? Minus 1. Over there, still left with a plus 3y. M is now being times by y minus 1. So I'm going to divide by y minus 1. And so my answer is m equals a plus 3y over y minus 1. Is m the subject of the formula? Yes, it is.